Hello everybody, welcome to The Table. I am your host Evan, and today I'm joined with Zach and Johnny, and today we have an NFL episode for you guys talking about if the Broncos can be fixed, the Raiders benching Derek Carr to his third concussion, and the college football playoff preview. Before we begin, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at lunchtable.takes, and we'll get right into it. Starting off with the Broncos. The Broncos, as of right now, are currently 4-11. And they just fired their coach, Nathaniel Hacket. And they've been one of the worst teams in the NFL, obviously, with a 4-11 record. And they, coming into the season, they had some really big expectations, but obviously they haven't lived up to those. And I just want to ask a question. Can the Broncos be fixed?
Not for the next couple of years. Because they gave Russell Wilson that contract through 26, I think is what it was.
I think so.
And he's obviously terrible. So they don't have any draft picks either. They gave them all to the Seahawks. So they're in a pretty bad spot here. I don't think they're going to get fixed for a couple of years. I mean, unless they bring in a new coach and Russell Wilson is at least average again. But they are in a rough territory here.
Yeah. My take on Russ is I think that he's been this bad his entire career. And the only reason that people thought that he was good was because he was playing under Pete Carroll, who is making Geno Smith look good, who he looked terrible for other teams.
Yeah.
So I think Pete Carroll runs a very good system for agile quarterbacks like Russ. And so if they get a good coach, they could possibly, change some stuff around where Russ could succeed more. Mm-hmm. So they could be a playoff team in the next 2-3 years if they get a good coach. Mm-hmm. But this has to be an amazing coach.
Yeah. I think I've heard some about that, like Russell Wilson not really being as good as what people say. I've heard some of that. That's not outrageous, I don't think.
No, because I
think it is.
Okay.
Well, but you also like the Seahawks.
Yeah, well, I'm a Russell Wilson fan. But yeah. I don't think you can be an awful quarterback and lead your team to 2 Super Bowls, win one of them, and be in the MVP conversation for the last 5 years.
No, he's definitely not awful.
I don't think that's just credit to the coach. I think you have some talent to be.
Back in that that prime there, he definitely was not awful by any means. He was good, but I do think that there is something to be said about. Maybe it was a little more coaching than what people gave credit. Because, Geno Smith is having a really good season. Who is this guy?
Exactly. Didn't he play for, the Jets or something?
He did play for the Jets.
Yeah, played for the Jets and was terrible.
Yeah.
And he was a backup for Russ last year. Mm-hmm. And then Pete Carroll has figured out a way to make him a good quarterback.
Yeah, not even just a serviceable quarterback.
Yes, a good quarterback.
Doing well.
So I think he did similar stuff with Russ. And also, this other stuff about him being such a annoyingly cheesy guy with all the Broncos country, let's ride.
Yeah.
All that crap. Nobody cared about that because they were winning games. Mm-hmm. It's just been brought to the light because he's in a new place and he hasn't proven himself. Yeah. So all of that's an issue now.
Yeah, and I think it is a little bit of Russell Wilson was actually good in his prime too, because take Pete Carroll mixed with actually not a bad Russell Wilson, then you get the Super Bowl and everything like that.
Right, but if you put,
he's not great though. He's not a top 10 of all time quarterback. Not even close.
Right, but also you put Russ in a good system that is more for him. I think he does better, and we're not having this conversation. Yeah. But credit to the system and the coach, but also. I'm not saying Russ is a bad quarterback.
He is right now. He's definitely out of his prime.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, but I think coaching is a big thing too.
Yeah, it is. They need to get a new coach in there. I think if they do get a new coach in there, then they might be able to salvage it a little bit because they're in a. They are.
They can have a winning record.
They are in a really hard spot here. They don't even have a draft pick.
They don't have a draft pick, and look what the Rams did to them.
And the Rams are terrible, too.
Yeah, the Rams have the same record as them and then absolutely beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah. The Rams have been in a rough spot more so due to injuries, though, because they still have a lot of their guys. But the Broncos, man, they're...
Yeah.
Woo! I'm worried if I'm a Broncos fan. I think like the one thing that they're relying on is getting a new and actually good coach, because that's really the only thing that can save them right now. They don't have draft picks. They can't bring new guys in,
and they can't really get rid of Russ because all the money that they are giving him.
They can't get rid of him. So I mean, it's either they get a good coach or they're just stuck in this awfulness for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
I think it goes heavily on coaching. I think Nathaniel Hacket was never ready to be a head coach, and I think they were hoping that he was going to kind of take the success that Aaron Rodgers had in Green Bay along with him into Denver, but obviously he did the opposite. And I feel like with a new coach that is more experienced, has been there, I feel like that'll help elevate the entire team as well as Russ. But I don't think Russ is ever going to be like he was.
No, we're never going to see prime MVP Super Bowl Russell Wilson.
But I think he'll be better than one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. But he's not. I don't think he's going to play up to his contract.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
How long is his contract? 6?
26.
It's 5-year contract.
5 years?
Yeah. So he'll be retired more than likely by then because he's 34 right now.
Yeah.
He's 30. Goodness.
Yeah.
And so he'll be like 39 or 40 by the time. So in like 3 or 4 years, that would probably be one of the worst contracts in the NFL.
Yeah.
They really bet their entire franchise on
But
him.
I feel like they still have the pieces around us to at least have a good team. Like,
but
they still have Judy,
Yeah.
Sutton, Javonte Williams will be back off of
Alberto.
Yeah, he's been really bad though. But yeah, you have Javonte back, and then you have one of the best corner, if not one of the best corners, in Pat Surtain. You still have like Justin Simmons. You still have like pieces there. I just feel like you just need the coach to kind of bring them all together.
But see, here's the issue though, is that the Broncos have these pieces right now, so they're they could be kind of in like a win now mode, and that is why they sold everything they had to get the quarterback that they thought they needed, that was going to get them over that hump and win them. But he's not doing that, and they're stuck with him for 6 years. So
or they start a backup.
Yeah. So
who's even is their backup at this point?
Don't even know.
The backups are worse.
So and like what I'm saying is they probably aren't going to keep all of these pieces for the next 6 years until they can get a new quarterback.
They're going to leave in that time.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So them having these pieces and being in this win now situation, they aren't going to win right now.
And nobody's going to trade for Russ.
No, nobody wants him.
They'd have to cut him.
Yeah, and they're not going to do that because they gave him
cap
a
space,
humongous contract. So the Broncos,
that's a massive cap space hit.
Yeah, the Broncos are really in a rough spot right now. I mean, that was really bad move signing Russell Wilson to that much money.
The Seahawks look like geniuses right now.
Yeah, they really do. And the Seahawks currently have the 3rd pick from the Broncos.
Exactly.
So I mean, and honestly, going into the season, like my preseason hot take was that the Broncos aren't going to be as good as what people think they are. Now I had them going like 9-8. So.
Well, way to rub it in.
But no, what I'm saying is that like
I was right on a take.
Even when the Broncos made this trade, I was still like, ooh, that's kind of an interesting trade. Like I didn't think it would be as bad as what it has been, but I didn't think it was going to be like. Because honestly, I thought going into the year Russell Wilson was kind of out of his prime.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was going to be this bad, but I kind of, from the last year or two when he was in Seattle, you can kind of just tell he's not the same Russell Wilson anymore.
Right.
So them giving him this much money, not a good move.
Yeah.
I think one thing that some people forget is last year he had that really bad thumb injury.
Yeah.
And he had surgery on it, and since then he has been a shell of himself.
Well, and that was also why I thought, too, because those thumb injuries are not good for quarterbacks. Yeah. So,
right.
And he's already 34.
34.
So
he's an old guy.
Well, I mean, for the NFL.
Right, for an NFL quarterback taking hits in the pocket, he's pretty old.
Well, and the Seahawks, if you remember, had one of the worst O-lines, so he was getting hit.
Yeah.
He's getting hit. He's 34. He had that thumb, repair surgery. I mean, with all of that, I did not think that he was the same Russell Wilson, and so that's why I was just really... I mean, the Broncos were really just taking a shot in the dark on this, and they missed very badly.
Yeah, but I think that, obviously looking back on the trade, it didn't work out well. But going into that season, the thing was they were a quarterback away from being a contender.
Which is what I'm saying. That's like they are, yes, but they wasted so much on the guy they thought was that quarterback.
I think they're a coach away from being a contender.
I don't know if I'm even going to say a contender though, because is Russell Wilson still that guy?
A playoff team,
playoff contender, yes,
a playoff team, not a Super Bowl contender. I meant playoff team.
I think if you get a guy like Sean Payton in there, I think he elevates that team a lot.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
The problem,
but I just don't know if Russell Wilson's still that guy to bring him to a Super Bowl.
He's not. But I think Russell Wilson's not going to have a 12 touchdown, 9 interception.
No,
right. But my question is, what head coach is going to want to go to Denver right now?
Sean Payton, maybe.
Actually, a lot of people are saying that the Broncos are one of the out of all of the head coaching vacancies, they're the best team to go to. Because if you think Colts, they have nothing. Panthers, nothing.
Yeah,
they have draft picks. They have draft picks to build a team,
which is why it's kind of
the Broncos do have a first round pick. When they traded Bradley, they traded Bradley Chubb. They got
that's right. So I guess they do. So
they do have a first round pick.
The problem,
it's not going to be a top 3 though.
But also new management of the entire team, like the Walmart group. We don't even know who's the actual owner. It's like a group of 5 people making decisions. And then the Russell Wilson situation, you're stuck with a quarterback that you may not even like, but you're stuck with him for 5 or 6 years, and you have to make it work with him. Otherwise, you're going to get canned just like Hackett was. So that's the problem, and it looks very bad on your resume.
Yeah, well,
so I wouldn't take the Broncos job.
Like a coach looking for a new job. I feel like the idea of being able to come into a completely new vacant team, you build that team, it's your team. That's a little more attractive than coming into this situation with Russell Wilson.
Exactly. It's already a bad situation.
I would choose going to the Texans, honestly, because at least the Texans have a lot of picks.
I choose the Colts.
The Colts would be a good one, too.
Because
the Colts are... You're right. Because they have... I didn't think about that. The Colts actually would be a really good job because they have young pieces and they have draft picks.
Yep.
So they're exactly where you want to be as a rebuild team.
Exactly. And, look at the coaches they had last. Frank Wright, Jeff Saturday.
Yeah.
An ESPN analyst.
Yeah.
So there's a reason they're not winning games. It's coaching and also quarterback.
Injuries. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's been out for most of the year, so, I mean, that hurts too.
But also, who's their freaking quarterback? They started Nick Foles last week.
Yeah, quarterback's the worst. That game was awful.
Yes. I say the Colts is the best head coaching position available.
I think the Colts definitely would be. I just say the Texans because I feel like going to the Texans is like a ground zero team. It's like you go there, there's nothing. It's just start from scratch, you know?
Yeah.
They have a couple pieces, but still not
But you're going to have to... They're going to have to hire a younger coach probably because there's no way Sean Payton's going to go to the Texans.
No, I'm not saying Sean Payton to the Texans. I'm just saying as a younger coach looking for a job, the Texans I don't think would be a bad one.
Yeah,
I mean that's what Zach Taylor did when he came in with the Bengals. They were 2-14. I mean he came in and built them from the ground up.
Yeah, like an offensive coordinator from some team that's decent, that's looking for a head coaching job. That's Texans is a very viable option.
Yeah. The Colts would be a good one, though.
Colts would be a good one for Sean Payton.
Yeah, Colts would be a pretty good one for Sean. And the Chargers, I think, would be good for Sean Payton, too.
You really think he's going to get fired?
Staley, maybe.
Staley, he might.
If they
I think if they lose in the wild card, he's on the hot seat. I think there's honestly a good chance they will lose in the wild card.
I also don't think Lovie Smith's going to get fired anytime soon.
You don't think so?
No.
Why? Because
they really like him down there.
Well, that's why they suck. Get a new guy in there. Good Lord.
No, they suck with every coach they have.
They weren't bad with Bill O'Brien. But before Bill O'Brien nuked that franchise, we remember he had J.J. Watt, prime Deshaun Watson, and prime DeAndre Hopkins.
But who else?
That team was, not bad.
Yeah, but that's not where
And then Bill O'Brien decided, you know what, I'm just going to screw the franchise for the next, 10 years.
Yeah.
And so now they're still screwed. Yeah.
But I don't think Lovie Smith is the answer.
Lovie Smith is not the answer.
Why?
I think the locker room, the players really respect him.
All right. Well,
the crappy players what Davis Mills or whatever his name is, their quarterback.
Those guys should be gone too.
Yeah.
If I come to the Texans, the only people I'm keeping are Tunsil, why do I always forget his
I'm
name?
firing the janitors.
The running back, yeah.
Damian
Damian Pierce, and then Stingley.
Well, they
like,
can't-
other than that team is just, you're gone.
I'm firing
Well,
everybody
it's not like Madden.
down to
You
the
can't just go
janitor.
in and blow up the entire team in a month and then
You
restart
might-
from
you
scratch.
might as well-
That's basically what Bill O'Brien did.
Honestly, with the Texans, you might as well just like collapse the franchise and then start a new one. Move it from Houston to
Make
like
him the
Austin
Oilers.
or something.
No, keep him in Houston. Just make him the Oilers.
Make them the Oilers. Just collapse the franchise entirely. Fire everybody. Then start an expansion franchise in Houston. Bring back the Oilers.
I mean, it is that bad right now.
But I feel like, and still in my eyes, like if I'm a head coach and I went to, and like you want to be in the playoffs, I think you go to the Broncos. Just because I think they have more, their pieces might not be producing, but they have more pieces than any of the other teams that have.
Yeah. I mean, I get
Because
that.
if you look at the Colts, better receiving core, better secondary, and then like Javonte Williams is no slouch. He just got hurt this year.
Right.
The only thing they have a better quarterback because their quarterback's freaking Matt Ryan. So
Yeah, but I do also think the Colts would be a good job, too, because you come into that job, you have the third overall, or fifth
they
overall
have
pick.
5 or
Right
6.
now, it's 5. It's 5 right now.
Yeah,
you come
so-
into that job, you immediately have a top 5 pick, you get your quarterback, everybody comes back healthy, you're looking pretty good.
In 2
But
years, they
might
could be
not draft
playoff
the
team.
quarterback. They might sign like Derek Carr or
The
Jimmy
Colts-
Garoppolo.
Trade for Derek Carr.
The Colts would
Derek
like
Carr.
actually be like completely retarded to not draft a quarterback. Like, why do they just keep going for these old fossils?
Well, I've
They
seen-
have a top 5 pick, draft a franchise quarterback. Like,
Well, all of the mock drafts have them drafting Will Levis, who I don't think is a franchise quarterback.
they can't just keep going for these.
Is the
1
TCU
year...
quarterback
He's projected to go in the 7th round.
the TCU quarterback?
Yes.
Take him.
at 5?
Might as well.
Significant.
You
that might
can't-
be the biggest reach in NFL history.
But like seriously, you can't just keep going for these 1 year, 35 overall, far out of their prime bridge quarterbacks. Like, why do they keep doing
It was like who? Phil Rivers. Then, pretty much since Andrew Luck, they've just
Carson
not.
Wentz, Matt Ryan. They've had a new quarterback every year. They're always looking for some old guy.
You know, after
Like, why?
Andrew Luck left, and they're like, "Oh, let's just go for these fossils." They might as well get Derek Carr at this point.
If they're not going to draft one, I guess. But I mean, they're just
No, if they wanted to
retarded.
continue the same trend, get Derek Carr and then suck next year, or you draft a quarterback.
draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
All of these have them taking Will Levis.
I mean, I just don't get why they wouldn't draft a quarterback. I mean,
Who's
they
Will
would
Levis
just
play
be
for?
retarded.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I
don't like
think
that.
he's over.
Like what is their attraction to these fossil 1 year bridge quarterbacks?
I
Let's get a new
I
guy
think
in here
they
every year.
believe that they're like a quarterback away, but they're obviously.
They're not. I mean,
I do think Derek Carr would be the best quarterback that they've had.
he would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Phil Rivers.
Yeah,
would be.
better than an ancient Phil
Phil Rivers
Rivers.
was like 40.
But it's just like, I mean,
Better than an ancient Phil Rivers. Better than Carson.
Wentz,
What?
Matt Ryan.
yeah. But if you're in the Colts position, draft a quarterback because I mean, it's like they have these young pieces. So like, and you want like
I don't think they drafted a quarterback since Andrew Luck.
They drafted
least
Sam
not- at least
Ellinger,
not in
but
the
he's
first round.
terrible. So
Oh,
it's
like,
like
yeah.
I don't like just. Why would you not draft a franchise quarterback? Like, if you're in the Colts
I
position and you think you're a quarterback away, like, why would you not draft?
They're a
someone?
quarterback and a head coach.
Yeah. So, and they currently have the 5th overall pick. So, why would you not draft your franchise quarterback?
And that's why I think that they're the best viable option for a coach to go to because they have a top 5 pick. Mm-hmm. And they also have their, quote, a quarterback and a coach away. You're the coach. Draft the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. I like that idea. I'm just saying if they don't draft a quarterback, you could just give up on this franchise now. They haven't drafted like they've had a lot of chances to take a quarterback since Andrew Luck, and they just don't do it. They keep going for these 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
like why?
Yeah, but I think like if they actually do pick Will Levis, I think that I don't know if I love that pick either.
I mean,
don't.
who do you like instead?
I mean, I guess Stroud.
I mean, Stroud will probably be there at 5, but I don't know.
Stroud would be there at 5.
I just don't know.
I like him. I like him better than Levis.
I just don't know.
His thing is he's physically one of the best quarterbacks.
He has a good
in this
arm.
Draft. He has a strong arm. He's tall, bigger guy. But I watched a lot of Kentucky games and he was awful.
The Colts just need somebody who can complete a play action pass.
Yeah, because I mean, Jonathan Taylor's their offense. They
Jonathan
run their
Taylor's their
offense through Jonathan Taylor.
exactly. It's Jonathan Taylor play action pass.
Yeah.
Hit Pittman.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need a guy who's going to be back there and do like Burrow type of stuff. Where
They just need somebody
he leads the team. Like that's like Jonathan Taylor is the leader of that.
They need a halfway competent quarterback who can hit the side of the barn.
Yeah.
They don't have that in Matt Ryan. They haven't had that since Andrew Luck.
No, they haven't. So that's why I'm saying. I mean, they
can pull Andrew Luck out of retirement.
I wouldn't hate them taking C.J. Stroud.
I like it better than Will Levis.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Colts.
He's just going to be coming in and starting immediately unless they get some other fossil to come in there for a year, which is possible.
Or they trade for Derek Carr.
I think that's probably the most realistic option.
But would you trade for Derek Carr and then not draft a quarterback?
I say you do both.
Yeah,
I would do both. If you really want Carr, then for me, drafting a quarterback is like not off. Like that is what they're doing. No matter what, they are drafting a quarterback. In my opinion.
What if they don't?
Well, then I think they're just stupid, honestly.
Well, if they trade for Carr,
I mean, even if they trade for Carr, I'm still taking a quarterback.
They could draft Stroud and have him sit, or they can trade down in the first round, get extra picks, and then draft Anthony Richardson, who's one of the more raw quarterbacks.
I like that.
Yeah,
he's a dual threat.
As long as they draft a guy that's going to come in and not suck balls,
and that's the problem,
and actually play for them for like more than 1 year.
Well, they don't know.
Derek Carr probably
you
has.
Never know, but I'm just saying.
Derek Carr probably has 2 or 3 years left in the league.
Yeah.
I saw something. This is not happening, but ESPN was saying that the Raiders are either going to cut him, trade him, or he's just going to retire. But I don't think he's going to retire.
He's not going to retire.
I don't think he's going to retire. I think they're going to trade him.
I don't think so. Most likely, he doesn't take up much cap space.
Mm-hmm.
He does take a lot of cap space.
If we cut him.
Yeah.
Like the cap space hit we take isn't that big. So what we do is we look for every available option to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody says no, we cut him.
Well, yeah.
That's more likely.
Yeah.
And then
someone will take him. The Colts will probably take him.
Yeah.
I think the top 2 teams are Colts and Jets.
And then Raiders draft quarterback.
And the Colts.
Correct.
Or the Colts could get Baker Mayfield, I guess.
The Raiders.
I don't hate that. I actually don't hate Baker Mayfield on the Colts. I don't hate it at all.
As long as they're still drafting one, I don't really care who they get for the next year.
Yeah.
But they might not draft one if they do that. That's what I'm concerned about. They might say, we got our quarterback now. Let's go draft the lineman or something like.
Baker's the type of quarterback who could succeed in.
He did well with the Browns for a couple of years there when the offense was ran through Nick Chubb. He did well. So I mean, it could go well for him in Indianapolis.
This is run through Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
I don't mind Baker Mayfield at all.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't have to give up much for him.
No, you really wouldn't have to give up anything at all. I mean, it's a 1-year deal, right? I mean, he's going to sign him out of free agency probably,
unless he wants to stay at
Los Angeles
and be a backup,
which is a possibility.
Yeah,
but I mean, why stay in Los Angeles and be a backup when you can go to Indianapolis and start?
Yeah, Baker to Colts, everyone.
It's a chance. See what Nick says about that.
God bless Nicholas Schoenweiss.
Who was the coach Nick said he didn't want them to get? He was like, they better not do that.
I forget what he said.
I can't remember what it was either. But it was some coach that he didn't want them to get either. It was like Nick, it's pretty likely that they get that coach and that quarterback, and you don't want either one of them.
Yeah,
I know the quarterback was Derek Carr. He didn't want Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, like Sean Payton.
Yeah.
The 2 people I'm saying are probably going to be on the Colts.
Yeah.
I wonder who Sean Payton does go to, though. I could see the Chargers.
If he gets fired.
I can see
if Staley gets fired.
I don't think Staley will get fired.
I can see him going to the Broncos or the Raiders if they fired Josh McDaniels.
I don't think Raiders are going to fire Josh McDaniels.
I don't want him to go to either of those two teams.
Well,
I wouldn't hate seeing the Colts.
What I heard is if Josh McDaniels gets fired, they hire Sean Payton. Brady will go with Sean Payton.
I did hear that rumor that Sean Payton wants to bring Tom Brady to wherever he goes next.
Why does Sean Payton think he has that pull on Brady?
I mean, I think Brady's contract is up after this year.
He's
either going to retire or go play somewhere else, probably.
He says he's not retiring.
I don't. Do you
really think? Okay,
Bucks?
do you really think that Sean Payton, like, the thing about Josh McDaniels is that he already has a connection with Brady. If they keep Josh McDaniels, he could still go to the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady can go wherever he wants to, except for like Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Buffalo. Like, other than those three places, he goes wherever he wants to.
Yeah,
fair point.
I mean,
yeah. Speaking of the Raiders, they just benched Derek Carr, and they're starting Jarrett Stidham this week against.
Thank God.
Who are they playing?
The
Raiders are playing or is it the Chiefs, or do they play the Chiefs week 18? I think they might play the Chiefs week 18.
They're starting Jarrett Stidham this week. And so Derek Carr, he left the team, so he wasn't like a distraction. And obviously now he's probably going to either get traded or cut or whatever. And so, in my opinion, I think the Raiders they're in more trouble than people think. I think so. There was an interview that Josh Jacobs recently had where he basically talked about his frustrations with the team, and he said like he's done all he could for the team, and they're just like not producing, and obviously they haven't paid him yet, so he's probably mad about that. So I think there's a realistic possibility, like the Raiders don't pay him enough, he leaves, Derek Carr gets traded.
Is he free agent this?
They didn't pick up his fifth year. So he was playing this season for a contract. And I think he definitely played and deserved it, but I still don't think they'll pay him.
But I think there's a realistic chance that Raiders don't re-sign Josh Jacobs. They trade Derek Carr, and Devontae Adams, the only reason he went to the Raiders was to play with Derek Carr, so he's not going to want to be there. He requests a trade. They're forced to trade him, and they're back at ground zero with no players and a new coach.
So right like that, they're back where they started.
So you're predicting the entire downfall of the Raiders organization.
I think
they might as well move to Mexico and like start new in Mexico City and be like an expansion team at this point. Is that what you're saying?
I honestly could see that happening. I mean, Derek Carr is for sure out there.
Yeah, Derek Carr is definitely
Josh Jacobs, I think, is going to be out of there too. Because one, they didn't pick up his fifth-year option, so he was playing for a contract. And two,
he's definitely earned it, though.
Yes, but two, I don't think they're going to pay him. And three, I don't even think he wants to be there.
I don't think he wants to be there.
So honestly, I don't think any amount that they offer him, because they're not going to offer him a ridiculous amount of money.
Why not?
Because he's a running back, and obviously they didn't think he's worth it. They didn't even pick up his fifth-year option.
Yeah,
he had been underperforming the last couple of years.
Yeah, but I still don't think they're going to pay him that much. And even if they do offer him a solid contract, I don't think he wants to be there.
But I think the biggest blow is going to be like when Carr's gone. I think that's going to make
because why is Devontae Adams going to want to play there without Derek Carr?
Yeah,
that's
why
he went
free agency.
I think he's going to want to go to a contender,
especially with him being 30. He's never won a Super Bowl. He wants to go win a Super Bowl. To cement his Hall of Fame legacy.
Devontae Adams will stay with the Raiders. We will re-sign Josh Jacobs. And then free agency, Tom Brady goes to Raiders because the connection already made with Josh McDaniels. He was their offensive coordinator. He's trying to structure the team very similar to how the Patriots are. Josh Jacobs is going to stay and so is Devontae, because it all revolves around us getting Tom Brady. If Tom Brady comes, everything's solved.
So the salvation of your franchise revolves around Tom Brady, who is currently on the Bucs.
Let me just go to the downfall of the team. The downfall of the team was not cutting Derek Carr 5 years ago. Derek Carr has had some statistically good seasons. Mm-hmm. I'll give him that. And so everyone's like, oh, the reason he's winning is because he doesn't have any weapons. He doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't have a defense. He has a lot of that now. And then this is the first season he hasn't had an excuse to be bad. Mm-hmm. And he has the fourth worst completion percentage in the league. The only three teams that are worse than him are the Jets, the Broncos. Third. Frick.
Jets,
Sorry.
Broncos.
It was the worst team is Jets, then Panthers, then Broncos, then Raiders. The Raiders have a 60% completion percentage. 60%.
It's a failing grade, John.
That is almost a failing grade. 1 more percent down. That is a failing grade. You're flunking out of college with that. Let me tell you. And then
Derek Carr sucks. Moral of the story.
well, did you watch the game versus Pittsburgh? Devontae Adams is open every time, and he sails over his head 10 yards. It's like you watch the offense. The only reason they're losing games is because, like, out of all the losses, the Raiders' entire season, there has only been one game that wasn't a one-possession loss. Only one game. We lost 24-0 against the Saints. The other 9 losses have been less than 7 points.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I think it's not coaching. I don't think it's coaching because they're calling good plays. And the reason that the atmosphere sucks is because they keep losing. And the reason they're losing isn't McDaniels, it's Carr having a 60% completion percentage.
Derek Carr is really bad.
Oh, he's playing egregiously bad.
Yes.
Like, he's playing terrible, and so you get a decently competent quarterback who can have better than a 60% completion percentage.
Yeah.
He has Devontae Adams. They can move the ball. They win a lot more of those games, and when people win, all of a sudden the culture's a lot better and everybody wants to be there.
Yes, however,
so it all revolves around getting a better quarterback than Derek Carr, which probably isn't that hard.
However, I think the only thing that would keep Devontae Adams there would be Tom Brady.
Which is a very which I've heard a couple people say, like, bounce around the idea of Tom Brady becoming a Raider.
I've heard that too, and I think it could happen.
It could, but see, the thing is that, like, it could happen, but we don't know if it will happen or not. And, like, I think that's the only thing that would hold him together.
He's not going back to Tampa.
How do you know? Why wouldn't he?
Why would he?
Why wouldn't he?
Why would he? I could see. Okay, I can see him going. I can see him doing 3 things. Niners. Maybe Rams. Raiders.
Why would he go to the Rams? They have Matthew Stafford.
I would say
Stafford's old.
Raiders, Niners, or going back to the Bucs. Or actually,
Niners.
going back to the Patriots.
What?
Because there's been a lot of reports saying that he might go back to
I
the
do not
Patriots.
think that will happen.
You never know.
Yeah.
But I think he'll probably... I can see him going to
Yeah,
the
Rams
Raiders.
was a bad take.
But
The Rams is a really bad take.
Yeah, sorry.
They have like a 34-year-old Matt Stafford.
I
Who
forgot.
just won a Super
Listen,
Bowl.
he's been injured the entire season. I forgot that Stafford was on that team.
Yeah.
Keep
You
going.
never know. Maybe Brady wants the big LA market.
What are they going to do? Trade Stafford then?
No, I was just signing Brady. Trump Stafford.
And have a QB room of Brady and Stafford?
Obviously, Stafford's no good.
What? He just won a Super Bowl.
Have you seen him this year? He's been awful.
He's been hurt the whole year.
Yeah, he has the UCL injury, which is that's really bad.
Let's wait and see when he comes back next year, because
He could retire.
I don't think Tom Brady's going to the Rams.
No, I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
So basically, the entire Raiders organization hangs on the balance if Tom Brady goes there or not.
That's what I'm hearing.
Not necessarily.
Devontae Adams is not staying without Carr. That's the only reason he went there. Why would he want to go play for the Raiders?
If we get another quarterback,
The only other quarterback you can get is Lamar Jackson if you pay him the bag, Jimmy Garoppolo, or I think the second highest best quarterback is like Jacoby Brissett or something like that. Like this quarterback free agency class is awful.
right?
If they get Brady, though, that is a real possibility. But honestly, even if they get Brady, I don't see Josh Jacobs sticking around.
Why not?
Because I don't think he wants to be there. There was that
Brady changes everything.
Maybe.
You get Brady on your team, you're getting the GOAT of football.
Yeah.
How could you say no to that?
I mean, that might change it. I'm just saying that there's been that stigma since the start of the season that he was, like, probably not going to return to the Raiders because he's playing for a contract. They didn't pay him.
He's going to get paid this offseason for sure.
Yeah, by somebody. I just don't know if it's going to be the Raiders.
I don't see how the Raiders cannot sign him.
I don't see how they can't either, but I just don't know if he wants to be there.
I think the Raiders' offseason is going to go one of two ways. They're either going to have a decent offseason where they re-sign Jacobs, they bring in like a decent quarterback or Brady, or it goes the complete opposite and they trade Carr, lose Devontae, and lose Josh Jacobs and have to start from square zero.
So you're saying that
it's either going to be really good or really bad.
Yeah. So you're saying this is either so it's either like there's no middle ground where like I agree with that. It's either going to be the worst offseason ever or the best offseason ever. And one of my biggest regrets in my life is choosing the Raiders as my second favorite team.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why you did that.
They're moving to Las Vegas. I was optimistic. I'm like, okay, they've just moved towns. They have a decent squad. I could see them on a couple years being good. I'm going to pick them as my second favorite team because, at that point the Bengals were abysmal to watch and the Raiders had some sparkle of hope.
Yeah.
And now it's just like completely flipped.
I don't blame you for that. I mean, that's like if you looked at their team going into the season, they were contenders for sure.
On paper, there's some pretty good paper contenders, let me tell you.
Yeah, there were some really good paper contenders this year.
Listen, they would have won the Super Bowl if they didn't play any of the games and the season got canceled before it even started.
I think they'd have gave it to the Bills, John. I don't think they would have won it still.
No.
They still wouldn't have won it.
They may have gone to the Super Bowl.
I also think I think it does it's a disservice to the Broncos and the Raiders because the division that they're in, the Chiefs and the Chargers aren't gonna not be good for a couple of years. So the Broncos and the Raiders are gonna be like the bottom feeders of that division until they make some big moves to get.
And they're gonna have to make
Brady.
some really big moves to
like
get over,
Brady.
Well, hey,
Chiefs,
Brady's been pretty bad this year. I'm not saying he's gonna be bad next year, but I don't know if Brady automatically fixes everything.
But you put him in a system that he's comfortable with, that he's been running for years under McDaniel.
I don't know. I mean, I could see it, but I still just that the Chiefs own that division, and it's not even close. So I think, and the Chargers are not close, but they are behind them. So for the Broncos and the Raiders to even have a shot, they're going to have to, really make some major changes to that team they got there. I think the Broncos have no shot, but I think the Raiders might, maybe.
The Raiders,
if they bring in the right people, maybe.
If they bring in a good quarterback, he doesn't even have to be Brady. It just has to be a good quarterback.
Jimmy G, he could do it.
Do you really think Jimmy G... Is that a legit take? Okay, good.
I think Jimmy G is the most mid quarterback.
Honestly, I think
Derek Carr.
Honestly, if Jared Stidham looks good,
he is better than Derek Carr, and you can't argue that.
I think that
Jimmy Garoppolo, you can't argue that.
Better than Derek Carr?
Yes.
Yeah. Jimmy.
There's your upgrade.
That is an upgrade. Heck, I think that Jared Stidham might be an upgrade at this point. 60%.
Jared Stidham is bad, but he's shown some. He's had some OP. Just bring back Marcus Mariota.
Bring back Marcus Mariota.
Oh dear.
He couldn't even start over Carr when he was here.
He's starting for the Falcons, John.
Well, not
really. Bring back Mariota.
Well, as of right now, the Raiders are not drafting a quarterback as of most mock drafts.
I don't think they need a draft.
They don't need a draft. They're in a win now.
Yeah.
Well, because they have Bryce Young, Levis, and then Stroud all gone, and then it's a significant drop off after those three.
Right. I don't think they need to draft one. I think
They're
they just need
drafting
to
an
find
edge rusher.
Why an edge rusher? They have Max Crosby.
They couldn't hurt.
Also, let's talk about how
And Chandler Jones.
I think
They should draft a receiver.
Yeah.
They have Devontae.
I think we need to talk about
Offensive
how
line,
horrible.
please.
We need to talk about how horrible of a signing Chandler Jones was.
Chandler Jones.
Yes, they gave him so much money, and he has been one of the biggest disappointments. He's been terrible. Let me just pull up his stats real quick.
Do we have to do this?
All right, Chandler Jones. Wait, let me look and see how much money he's getting paid first.
Why? Why would they even do this?
All right, here we go.
You can't even tell me why.
He's getting paid.
We already had Max Crosby. He's not even the best pass rusher on our team.
$51 million.
Okay, it's a lot of money.
He has 4.5 sacks, 21 tackles, and 1 forced fumble in 15 games
On the season.
Interesting. Just win, baby.
And he's getting paid $51 million for 3 years.
That is really bad.
Egregious.
Really bad.
He's also on IR right now.
Oh, okay. That makes it even better.
I think.
That's
Remember
bad.
when I said picking the Raiders is one of the worst decisions I've had in my life? Like,
that's bad.
like-
That's really bad.
Most teams, like, when, my second favorite team,
He didn't
usually
get a
people.
full sack until week 12. Wait, no, sorry, week 13. My bad. He had 3 sacks that game in week 13
That was a good week.
against the Chargers.
I mean that.
But before that,
That's
he
bad.
did not have a single sack.
That's really bad. Wow.
It's been disappointing.
They gave him $50 million.
over 3 years. He's 32.
Oh, dude. Why? That's awful. Oh my gosh.
Well, I think he was a Pro Bowler.
Oh, he was a Pro Bowl.
He's 39 years old.
Just win, baby.
Oh dear.
That was
Oh, that's bad.
not a great contract.
That's bad.
Wonderful contract. We're winning that contract.
They need to trade him.
Who would take him?
It's like, yeah, someone's going to take him.
We need to trade him. To who? Nobody's dumb enough to pick up like a $50 million a year.
Not give him to the Giants. They're a bunch of morons.
Honestly, we could trick the. We could trick the Texans into taking him.
The Texans.
He would look good on the Texans.
Oh, jeez, that is.
I mean,
Who's the dumbest team in the NFL? Like they are just flat
Texans.
out dumb.
The Texans.
Or maybe the Jets. They just suck at drafting quarterbacks.
They have Mike
I
White.
wouldn't call the Jets dumb. I'm thinking who's just a retarded team. I mean,
Actually,
the Texans.
The Jets
The Browns.
Oh, the Browns. Yeah.
They don't need edge rushers, though.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if I'm being completely
They don't
honest,
need
if
him,
I'm being
but-
completely honest, like, the Texans very easily could trade, like, a 4th, 5th round pick for Chandler Jones, and it wouldn't hurt them at all. Because he's obviously way better than any of the edge rushers they have. Plus, they have so much cap space that his cap would barely affect them.
Yeah.
And they would just give him,
And they're dumb enough to take it.
It's a 4th round pick. It's not gonna hurt anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in like the NBA.
He would
like
benefit us.
It's one of those trades where it's like it's really not good for either side, but it's not gonna hurt either side.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Or what they could do is like this happens in the NBA a lot. It's like they trade like a guy who's old with a lot of is overpaid and like a 1st round pick for like just kind of as a salary dump. So like the Raiders.
So you think the Raiders should give their 1st round pick to the Texans too?
No, they could do like a
Just to get rid of a terrible.
They are going to give the
They could do
Texans
like a-
Chandler Jones and a 1st
No.
in exchange for a 4th round pick just because they want to get
No,
rid of
they
Chandler
could
Jones
do-
that bad.
I want to get rid of him now.
they could do like a
So they're going to
3rd.
throw in a 1st round pick to sweeten the deal, and they're like, "I don't even care.
That's a
just
deal-
Take him.
that's
Just
a-
take him.
that's a-
We'll take the 4th. Just get him. I don't
Open
care.
up more cap space to re-sign Josh Jacobs.
Well, they could more realistically, they could do like 3rd Chandler Jones for.
I mean, we'll throw in our 1st round pick for the next 3 years. We don't even care. Just take him.
That's not what we're saying either. 1st round's a little opted. Give
not
like a
sure.
2nd round
I
and
would
Chandler.
say 3rd at most. 3rd and Chandler Jones for 4th.
For a 4th. I would go first.
That's a salary dump. Why would you what? I could give him the second round, but I'm just gonna give him the first.
That actually could be very beneficial for the
You know what? I'm just gonna just sweeten the deal. They can't refuse a first round pick.
I mean, they want to get rid of him so bad. Just give him a first. Just get him out of here, man. We'll give you whatever you want. They say you want a second, we'll give you a first.
That only happens in the NBA because there's only two rounds, so a first round pick is it's valuable, but not as. Plus, there's protections and all that stuff. But
you say you want a second, we'll give you a first.
I would say
why?
get rid of him. Third, Chandler Jones for goodness. If I'm the Texans, I'm doing that deal.
Well, yeah.
Can't hurt anything.
You're only going to get better.
Also, I mean, if the Raiders
And they have a good
if the Raiders
$1
are
billion.
truly wanting to re-sign Josh Jacobs, I don't know their money situation, but if they don't have enough money, I mean, salary dump, you get a fourth round pick out of it, not the worst thing.
I mean, I'd get rid of him. He's god-awful. He's 35 years old and he's terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah. He's horrible.
All right. Now that my heart has been ripped out, stomped on, stabbed multiple times, and then thrown in my face, what is the next topic?
So, to conclude this topic, the Raiders have to get Tom Brady to save their franchise, or they're going back to ground zero. Is that what we decided here? It's
yeah. No!
Yes, we did.
It could be another quarterback.
Well, we're just going to...
Just somebody that has a better completion percentage than 60.
But really, Tom Brady to keep Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs.
Or just a named quarterback.
A named quarterback?
A quarterback that has a name.
They all have names, John.
A notable name. A household
they need the
name.
quarterback that has the dots as the name.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, we should get a quarterback that doesn't even have a name.
He has asterisks on the back of his jersey.
What the heck are we talking about?
In our Madden franchise, there was a linebacker in the draft that had asterisks as a last name.
His name was probably something that Madden thinks is a bad word, so he just deleted his name.
So his name was Habakkuk, and then his last name had an asterisk, and so I immediately traded for him. And he was
You traded for him?
He started for me. He was like a 79
and
overall.
Lucas had a wide receiver named Lil Wayne.
He was pretty good.
Yeah. Also, speaking of someone who's been as beat up as John has in the past couple of minutes, Tua Tagovailoa just suffered his third concussion this year.
Yes.
And
Man has definite CTE.
I honestly think he should not play the rest of the year. Like I really think he needs to.
I don't. He's had so much brain damage this year that it's like, for his own medical sake, he should sit out himself.
I think he needs to be done
retire?
for this year. And honestly, I think the Dolphins need to draft a quarterback.
so here's the thing about that. So Tua, they can extend in this offseason they can extend his 5th-year option, and so
why would you do that?
I mean, do you though? Like, is that?
But
even,
it's kind of it's difficult because when obviously this year he's taken massive leaps and he's been one of the better quarterbacks.
But he's not been out for concussion.
I still don't even think he's been.
But
he's been good.
He had the highest completion percentage, highest QBR before in the first 8 weeks.
I don't know. I really don't think he's all that great. I mean, I think he's pretty. I think he's solid. He's top 12 probably. But I just don't.
Which is really good.
I don't know what
Better than half the leagues.
top 12. Yeah, I don't know.
He's not cuttable.
No, he's not cuttable. But I don't know why. I just don't really. I don't think he's.
Yeah,
really
it goes.
all that great.
Do you extend the 5th-year option to him, or do you not because you don't know if he's going to be healthy enough for you to play for you long term? And even if, let's say, they do extend the 5th-year option, do you still re-sign him long term? Because obviously 3 concussions in 1 year is not good.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
and he's had injury problems most of his career, but when he's at least this year when he's on the field, he elevates the Dolphins a lot. So they're kind of in a weird spot.
They have also lost 4 straight games, and he has been on the field though.
I also have had 3 concussions in one season. Only one of them was reported, but I've been in not the same, but a similar injury to Tua.
Yes.
My hands weren't curled up, but
Yeah.
but I've had 3 concussions in a season, and knowing from experience, I should not have stepped onto that football field. But gosh darn it, I wanted to play in the playoffs.
Yeah,
And so I still have brain damage from that. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he should play anymore this year.
I don't think from just for his his health, for life after football.
Yeah,
don't play.
Just sit out.
Don't
the season.
play.
Sit out the season. I mean, I don't know. It is a tough decision though, because if they don't I wouldn't hate it if they just didn't pick up a 5th-year option and they drafted a new guy. Because, like I said, I don't personally think Tua is all that anyways.
They're not going to have a high enough draft pick to draft a good player.
Maybe they can take Anthony Richardson.
No.
They don't have their pick this year. They traded the one pick to the Broncos, and then the second one got forfeited because they were cheating.
They gave it to Bradley Cook. That's right, yep.
Their actual pick got forfeited because of that whole scandal thing earlier this year.
What were they doing?
I forget.
No clue.
I forget
honestly.
exactly, but they had to
really
forfeit their first-round pick, so they don't have any first-round picks this year.
Nice.
So I mean,
swim, dolphins, swim.
I would give him the 5th year because it doesn't hurt anything, and see if he can have a season where he's healthy and see how much the concussions actually do affect him.
Yeah.
And then after the 5th year, if he's still injury prone and you're not certain in his future, then you can drop him. And
so the 5th year would be next year?
So he's eligible for the 5th year this offseason. So
so his 4th year is going to be next season.
Yeah. And then he would have the 5th.
So you think they should have him for 2 more years at minimum?
Maybe not.
Maybe they play. Maybe he plays next year. They see how he does, and then they pick it up after that. Maybe
kind of like what the Raiders did with Josh Jacobs. They have a prove it year.
Yeah. I think that would be a prove it year. I think
he should have a prove it year
next year. I think he should have a prove it year.
Don't pick up the 5th.
I agree. I mean, especially just because of the concussion scares and everything. I mean, he definitely should not play the rest of this year.
100%.
I mean, they've lost 4 straight games. Just get him out of there. He's not playing the rest of this year.
They're still in the hunt for the playoffs, right?
Okay.
Yes, but still.
Well, so in 2024, which is next year, right?
2023
season.
Well, but it would be the 2024 off season, right?
This coming off season?
No, the next off season.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So quarterbacks.
That is hard.
Quarterbacks that are available are like Kirk Cousins, Tannehill. I think Herbert's a free agent, but I think
no.
I think he got re-signed already.
Do you pick up Cousins?
That's pretty much it.
Not Ryan Tannehill. He is freaking terrible.
And then it's Jameis Winston, Mariota, Trubisky, Colt McCoy, Taylor Foles,
So no one.
Jalen Hurts.
Well, Jalen Hurts, but he ain't leaving Philadelphia.
Trubisky.
So they're kind of in the weird.
Gosh.
But here's
I really hope we start getting some better quarterbacks, like prospects in the draft, man. Ever since the Burrow-Herbert class, I have not been high on
this
any.
next year's class is going to be like Burrow-Herbert.
I hope
Caleb
so.
Williams and Drake May are both.
I hope,
really
but I'm getting real tired of seeing these bad quarterbacks because ever since Burrow-Herbert class, we have not had any quarterback class that I'm high on at all.
But yeah, this next one is going to be good.
But I guess it's not every day that you get a Burrow-Herbert type of class, I guess. Yeah. So
this next one is
that's the best quarterback class. One of, if not the best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because it was Tua, Jalen Hurts, Herbert, and Burrow.
Yeah,
All 4 of them are starters on a playoff team.
Yeah. And 2 of them are franchise cornerstones.
Maybe 3.
Hurts, maybe? Maybe, yeah.
Hurts is a cornerstone.
You think?
I like Hurts.
I think he could be, yeah.
They've won, 12, 13 games this year?
But are you ready to say he's like a franchise cornerstone like Burrow has done to Cincinnati and Herbert?
Well, not to that extent.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere anytime
No. I think he is a franchise guy, but I think franchise cornerstone.
I think he's a franchise
Burrow,
guy
Herbert.
because of his work ethic and the way that he leads a team.
Yeah. No, I like Jalen Hurts. I like him a lot. I just was saying like.
But here's the thing. So obviously the big quarterback on the market this year is Lamar Jackson, and so
Why don't the Dolphins go for him? That'd be insane.
That's what I'm about to say. I think the Dolphins.
You're onto something here.
The Dolphins could make a play for Lamar Jackson.
Do they have the money to pay it?
Dude, that'd be insane.
I'm not sure.
I
don't know if they
I
do.
don't think they do.
But also on the same hand, his arm probably isn't very good, so they got these fast. Well, his arm's better than Tua's.
Tua's arm is technically not good. I think it's decent.
Lamar's is better though. That would be nasty.
And Lamar changes how you even cover people.
I know that would be insane. I would love
You have
that.
Also, I mean, they have the whole Miami thing going, so that obviously helps them. They have Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, so they have good pieces. But
I would love that. If they
it's
made a
just
run for
them. Well, I mean, it's not like Lamar's not injury prone either. Lamar, the last 2 seasons, hasn't had a healthy season.
Yeah,
But
at least he's not gonna have like brain ooze out the side of his ear next year. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, at least he's good.
Right.
At least he's going to be able to go home and know who his wife and children are.
yeah. I mean, he's got some ankle
it's
issues,
just-
but wrap it up, all right?
Yeah,
Just-
yeah. At least he's like mentally there. You know what I mean?
yeah, it just depends on like if they truly believe in Tua or if they are.
I mean, Mike McDaniel really likes him a lot. Mike McDaniel really likes Tua, so I mean, I guess. But I am.
Yeah, didn't he make like a highlight tape for him?
I don't know.
Yeah, because Tua was like saying that he thinks he doesn't deserve to be in like the NFL and that he's like a terrible quarterback. So then he made a highlight tape to like boost his confidence, which worked because he's been playing really well this year.
Yeah, but I think they should make a run for Lamar,
I think,
or maybe just some other.
I don't
quarterback.
think Lamar's going to go back to the Ravens.
That'd be interesting.
I think he's going
Does Brady go across the state?
to the Ravens.
No.
What?
Does Brady go across the state
Across the state to the Ravens?
That was in the Patriots.
to the Dolphins?
No, he's going to the Dolphins.
What?
I don't think he goes to the Dolphins.
Because wasn't there talks of him going there when he was leaving the Pats?
Probably.
I don't think he's.
There's
gonna
also
go to the
talks of him
Dolphins.
going to like the Raiders.
San Francisco.
I don't think he's.
He's not going.
Oh, there are talks about him going to the Raiders. Let me tell you.
I think he likes like Shanahan and McDaniel's better than Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel was under Shanahan.
I know, but Shanahan's a more proven coach, and I think if you put Brady on the 49ers, they're in like an instant Super Bowl team.
Oh yeah,
the
for
Broncos
sure. They already are.
with
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't
But
mind
I
seeing
think-
Brady. And Brady, when he was growing up, he was a Niners fan too. So I mean,
But also, he also does know.
he knows that guy, yes, but that was not his childhood team, John.
I don't know. We'll see what Brady is.
Brady is going to be a Raider.
But I think that I don't think Lamar's going to go back to Baltimore. 'Cause
I would like to
I
see
think-
him in Miami. I think that'd be
I
kinda
mean,
cool.
I wouldn't mind him leaving.
all of the weapons. Like they basically got rid of all of his good weapons. Like he has literally nothing to work with.
Dobbins has sucked.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
he tore his ACL 80 times.
And then obviously, like they didn't pay him this offseason, which
Yeah.
they definitely should have, even if like they didn't think he was gonna like his play style lasts or whatever. Like you still pay an MVP player like Lamar Jackson.
Dolphins should pay him.
So I think that rubbed him the wrong way. So I think he's either going to go to the Jets or the Dolphins. One of those.
I would like to see him go to the Dolphins. I think that'd be sweet, as long as he can become a quarterback. that can
Another
throw the
overpowered
football.
team in the AFC.
Well, I mean,
Another egregiously overpowered team in the AFC.
the AFC is literally just the NBA West.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's a very good analogy.
But I mean, yeah, it just depends if the Dolphins want to give up on Tua or if they want to wait on him. And see.
Maybe I think I would say maybe let him play this 4th year, but I would not pick up his 5th year option right now. I would have a prove it year, but I would
They also could
highly
trade
consider
for
making a run for Lamar.
They also, if they don't get Lamar, they also could trade for a quarterback like next year.
Yeah.
Like Derek Carr.
Oh Lord.
Derek Carr will probably be out of the league by then.
He probably will not be in the NFL at that time.
We
John.
kept him for 9 years.
I don't
He
know
played
why.
for the Raiders for 9 years. Oh, and guess who had the only quarterback who's had more losses in 9 years? Archie Manning. Peyton Manning's dad.
Huh. Who do you play for?
Saints.
That's right.
When they sucked for like 10 years. And similar situation where they all thought, oh, it's not Manning's fault.
The Dolphins only have
Yeah.
$4 million in cap space.
They only have $4 million.
I mean, they're paying
Oh
Their total cap,
dear.
Their total
Who
cap-
are they paying?
Tyreek
Tyreek
Hill,
Hill, that's right.
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Watt. They
No,
drafted him though.
It's
He's
more-
still on a rookie
it's more
contract.
Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb. are their two highest paid guys.
So they will not be getting Lamar Jackson
They can
unless they
Unless they just say,
unless
you
they
know-
go on a cutting spree.
They can. I'm sure they can.
Cut everybody that makes the
cap
team
space
good.
doesn't exist anymore. They can make it work.
How?
I don't know. Teams always.
Get Jerry Jones to sign a petition
Teams always
what?
figure out how
for cap space to be expanded.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's like a luxury.
Where are we getting this money from?
I don't know if there's the owners. I don't know if there's like a luxury tax. In
They
the
can
NFL
find
or
it.
not. There's I mean, if you look at it, the only team that actually has more than 10 million of cap space is the Panthers and the Broncos.
Maybe they can rob
Actually,
the Texans.
the Bears do have a ton of cap.
They can rob the Texans, maybe.
That'll be fine. But this is 2022. I don't know. They can probably figure it out.
I'm struggling with this mic over here.
I would like to see a Lamar Jackson Miami team up.
I think that would be cool.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Then I feel like the
Didn't he retweet like a tweet that had a picture of him like in
think so.
in a Dolphins uniform, and he retweeted it or something? So I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think he. I don't think he's.
I don't think he is
that
either. I
bridge
think
was burned.
they screwed that bridge.
Ooh, day.
I wouldn't mind if you left.
I wouldn't mind if you left at all.
I think it would be cool to see him in Miami, though. Honestly, I mean, Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill.
I feel like Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah, just pay him.
Jalen Waddle.
Just pay him. All the money you have left, the $4 million. He's definitely going to play for only $4 million.
Well,
Raheem Mostert.
I think they have.
You could cut Mostert.
You could cut
easily.
Mostert.
I think
they should draft a running back.
Mostert's a free agent this year.
They should
Perfect.
draft a running back because both the guys. I mean, Jeff Wilson's like 29, or no, he might not be 29. He's a little younger, I think.
27.
I think it's time they draft a running back.
There's some good running backs in this year's class.
Yeah, where do you think Bijan will go?
Falcons or Eagles.
So he will not drop to the Dolphins in the second round.
He's not leaving. He's not going in the second round.
Yeah. Derrick Henry left the first round.
Bijan's not leaving the first round. This one has them going to the Bills. If Bijan goes to the Bills, that'd be awesome.
The Bills just keep building upon this egregious super team they have, and if they don't win the Super Bowl here soon, I don't even know what to say.
But that's some bad mojo, some bad luck.
I mean, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, who's the other running backs? They could get that Gibbs guy from Bama.
Oh yeah, the Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's good.
Yeah.
Gibbs.
They could get Jahmyr Gibbs.
I don't know if that's the most pressing matter that they have of running back.
It wouldn't hurt. I mean, what other matter do they have, you think?
I think their offensive line sucks.
O-line would probably be the other one, but I don't even, I mean, well, yeah, probably.
O-line.
Yeah.
Before running back.
Yeah, probably. I mean, running back, you can just get whoever the heck in there and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
They can just.
Unless they're Derek Henry to Josh Jacobs.
Well, then it would help, yeah.
Running backs are replaceable, except if they're like Josh Jacobs or
Joe
Derrick
Mixon.
Henry. Even he's replaceable.
So JP Ryan pretty much did the exact same thing.
That's what a good offensive line does.
Jonathan Taylor is not replaceable.
No,
That,
I think the only there's
Neither is
three-
Nick Chubb.
There's only
there's like 5.
4 or 5 running backs: Chubb, McCaffrey,
Henry.
Taylor, and I mean maybe Josh Jacobs, but I don't know. He's only had. I feel like
Dalvin Cook, maybe? I mean, I guess Madison comes in and
Dalvin
kind of
Cook
does
gets
pretty
hurt all
well.
the time.
No, Madison Cooks.
I don't know. I feel like maybe Josh Jacobs, because his contract year goes off, that he's going to be how he was before when he gets re-signed, because he's done nothing until this year. But
Yeah.
you never know.
I don't know. I guess I see what you're saying.
Also,
There's only a few
I
backs.
think he's been fed a lot more this year. The ball
I think he'll be there.
because Carr's completion percentage has sucked.
Yeah. But, like, yeah. I don't know.
All right, the
All right.
NFL, or not the NFL, sorry, the college football playoffs
Ah, yes.
are tomorrow.
Let's hear these takes, Evan.
The first game is Michigan versus TCU at 4 o'clock?
The
think it's at 4.
Horned Frogs.
Yes, sir.
The Horned Frogs versus the Wolverines. And apparently this is a hot take, but I think TCU is going to beat Michigan. I think
It's not as hot as you think.
That's what I'm saying.
I personally think it is a slightly hot take.
I think TCU's gonna.
It could be a warm take.
It's a little bit warm.
A toasty take.
Oh, toasty take.
A toasty take.
It's a toasty take.
I think.
Coin that.
Trademark it immediately.
But I think TCU's gonna punch him in the face early, and Michigan's not gonna be able to recover. Because I think Michigan right now, they're on their high horse. They just beat Ohio State for the second straight year. They won the Big Ten championship. They think they're the stuff. Mm-hmm. But you have the team who I feel like wants it more in TCU. They have Max Duggan, who is an amazing story, and he's second in the Heisman voting for a reason. And they have Quentin Johnson, who's the number one receiver in this draft class. They have a good defense. And the only game that they lost was in obviously the conference championship.
Kansas State.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like that loss is gonna. It's
a driving force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's gonna. I feel
Granted,
like, also, what does TCU? TCU doesn't have anything to lose. They haven't been to the.
let me rebuttal the Kansas State thing.
Okay.
I think Max Duggan is better than JJ McCarthy.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that.
Ohio State, when they won the national championship in 2014,
Lost.
they lost to Virginia Tech.
You're right.
So a loss to a bad team like that really doesn't matter once you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. But here's my other thing about your take there. You think they're going to slap Michigan in the face early and they're not going to be able to recover. Ohio State kind of did that.
But Ohio State's defense is garbage.
Yeah,
True.
I'm just saying Ohio State slapped them in the face in the first half, and Michigan came back and outscored them 20-0 in the second half. So I mean,
they also don't. I
don't know.
Ohio State was outcoached and outplayed.
Well, Ohio State was terrible. I'm just saying that I don't think you can say they're going to slap Michigan early and they won't be able to come back, because they definitely can come back. I mean, Michigan is definitely a second half team. I mean, we saw that in the Big Ten championship. They're only winning by 3 to Purdue. They came back and slapped Purdue in the second half.
Because it's Purdue.
I'm just saying that Michigan is a second half team.
Okay, but I still think. I mean, they haven't had Corum for the last 2 weeks, but I think not having him hurts. But I think everyone is not taking this TCU team seriously. Like, their defense is really good. They have a secondary that is one of the better secondaries.
They have a chance to prove it. Then take it serious. Then
Yeah,
I think that they aren't taken serious because they're not a Big Ten or a
SEC school.
Exactly. And so because of that, everyone thinks, oh, they're Big 12, they suck.
Yeah.
And so I think they're criminally underrated.
They may be, but I still don't think they're going to beat Michigan.
How dare you?
I guess it's not. It is a toasty
You might as well
take.
move up there.
This is I hate Michigan. Never.
so yeah,
Too dang cold.
They average 40 points per game, which is 5th best in college football.
They also play in the Big 12, where
The Big 12's terrible.
I'm
Big
just
Ten's
saying
not
the Big
much
12 is
better.
known for people scoring an egregious amount of points and then playing a good team and getting destroyed.
Well, the Big Ten's no better. The Big Ten is Ohio State, and that's it. And Ohio State averages 50 points a game.
Ohio State is basically a Big 12 team. They score an egregious amount of points and then they face a good team and lose. That's basically that. I mean, Michigan is a good team. Georgia's a good team. You know.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not that like I'm a salty Ohio State fan. I genuinely think that TCU is going to give Michigan a run for their money.
They might give them a run. I'm not saying that they're going to blow them out. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I do think that Michigan's going to end up winning handily. I might be wrong. Trust me, I hope I'm wrong. I'm just saying I think that Michigan.
Are you sure that you hope you're wrong?
Oh, I'm sure that I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see Michigan lose in the playoffs again. I would have to TCU. I would love it.
So
Lose to the Horned
I
Frogs.
would
I
love
don't
it.
know which side I'm on, but I'm looking at like their schedule, and it has all of their wins, and it has them losing in the Big 12 championship game, and then it has them already losing to Michigan 31-20.
Yeah, I could see that. Not a blowout, but a solid win.
But I mean, so they beat Kansas State in the regular season. They were ranked number 11, and then they beat Texas, who's number 21.
Oh, dear.
So
Let's not get on Texas. I think Texas is overrated as
They have
well.
more. They have
And
more.
Oklahoma.
Actually,
And
they have the
Oklahoma's
same-
horrible.
They have the same amount of ranked wins as Michigan does.
But Michigan's actually a good team, though.
But I think
Are
TCU
they?
is a good team.
Yes.
Are they? Or
Well,
are they a big
Michigan,
or are they a Big Ten
Very
team?
good Big Ten team, I guess. We'll say
Michigan
that. Compared to
played-
the SEC, I don't think anyone's good.
Michigan played four people. That had a
Everyone
winning
is
record.
horrible.
Everyone is horrible compared to the SEC.
Michigan played four teams that had a winning record.
Yes. I honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this Michigan TCU game is going to matter. I think Georgia's going to walk to the national championship. I don't think it's going
Unless
to
Ohio
matter.
State beats them.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think Georgia is going to walk
I think it's
to
going to be closer
the
than
second
people
straight
think.
national championship.
I think Ohio State. Is
We're on to
gonna
Ohio
get a
State here now?
competitive game.
It'll be competitive,
Yeah,
but
anything to say about Tech?
it'll be competitive. But Georgia's going to win.
No, I have nothing else to say about the TCU victory.
Well, the conversation's kind of naturally moved to the next game, so we'll go on there, John.
All right, yeah. Let's move on here.
All right. Well, obviously, we think so. Ohio State's going to get destroyed, and Georgia will win the championship.
So my final take is Michigan wins, and then Georgia wins, and then Georgia wins by a lot.
Okay. Do you also think that Georgia is going to roll Ohio State?
No,
So they're
I don't think they're going to roll them, but I think they're going to win for sure.
comfortably? Or is it going to be a close game?
I don't know.
Because I see a reverse.
I can see a close game. Maybe.
I just don't.
I don't know. I could see it either way. Because I feel like Ohio State is a good matchup for Georgia. Like, that will be a good game.
Right.
But I could also see Georgia just rolling them. Because, honestly, I don't think Ohio State's really that good either.
Right.
I mean, I think Georgia is head and shoulders above everyone else in college football. So,
I don't even think Ohio State has really proven anything to make the playoffs.
They haven't, but they've proved more than other teams, though. Like, no other team deserved it more than Ohio State.
Right. Like, yeah.
I mean, you got to put the Pac-12 champion Utah in over them. I mean,
Yeah.
Utah has like 2 or 3 losses, you know? Like, so, I mean, yeah, Ohio State's not really that good, and they haven't really proved anything to be in, but neither is any other team.
Right.
Alabama, 2 losses, and one of them being to
USC, 2 losses.
Exactly. And Alabama,
3 losses,
and like the whole thing with Alabama, like they have 2 losses. They didn't even play for the conference championship, and one of their losses came to a Tennessee team that a few weeks later got slaughtered by South Carolina. So I mean,
Go
that's
Gamecocks.
not a good loss.
Once they lost Hooker, everything went downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying that Alabama, one of their losses came to a Tennessee team that I think was sadly vastly overrated. They got slaughtered by a South Carolina team. So I mean, what I'm saying is that yeah, Ohio State's not very good. They didn't. You can say they didn't deserve it, but they deserved it more than any other team. In the But I mean, I don't know. I could see it going either way. I mean, obviously, I'd love for Ohio State to win, and I could see it being a close game because, like I said, I think Ohio State's a good matchup
It's
for
the
Georgia.
number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's a good. I think that
It'll be a fun
it's
game.
a good matchup. Like I think of all the 3 other teams in the playoffs, I think Ohio State has the best chance to beat Georgia.
I would agree.
Correct.
But I
just
don't
because
think they will.
Just because of how the team is structured.
Yes,
But
Yeah.
other than that,
I don't think they will though.
I don't
I also
think
feel
Ohio
like-
State, I think, is the worst team in the playoffs, but they have the best shot of being Georgia
Yeah,
because
I
of how the
agree.
team's structured.
I agree with that.
I also feel like with Ohio State losing to Michigan for the second straight year, that they're
Pissed off?
they're.
Well, they should have been after they lost to him last year, but that didn't do anything.
I know, but
so.
like they're. I've been reading stuff where they've been like the defense has watched that game film probably 20 times since then, and they've been,
I mean, that's
and they've been
good, but-
dissecting it to figure out what they need to do. I also don't think that Georgia's offense is very good. I think Stetson Bennett's overrated. I think other than Brock Bowers, they really have nothing.
Yeah, it's just their defense.
They do have a really good offensive
Defense
line,
wins
you know?
championships,
Yeah.
though. That's the problem. If you can't score on them,
Here's the thing: if
And their offense
if
is good enough
Ohio
to score,
State's-
especially on Ohio State. Ohio State's defense is terrible, so they're going to score points.
If Ohio State's offensive line can keep Jalen Carter in check, I think that they have a chance. If you let Jalen Carter go off, then they're done. But
Fair
if they can hold Jalen Carter in check, I think our offense can outduel their offense.
I think that game has a chance to be a better game than the Michigan game.
It definitely will.
100%.
I don't think Ohio State's going to win, though.
I think it could happen.
It
Probably won't, but I feel like everyone's just already writing off Ohio State, and I feel like they have some stuff to prove still. And I think that they.
Do you think they're going to cover They're going to cover. I think they're going to cover the spread on the game and make it close, but they're going to lose by a couple to Georgia.
I think they'll. If
I
they
think
do lose, it'll be.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, be entertaining.
I think it'll be a good game. I don't think they'll get.
Here's one thing to note: the last time that Ohio State wasn't in the Big Ten championship, they made it to the college football playoffs. TCU missed out on it, or maybe went in.
Yeah,
and we ended up beating the number 1 team, Alabama, who was just like this Georgia team, and we ended up winning the national championship that year.
No, Evan, we Ohio State won the Big Ten championship that year.
We were whatever. We were not, and going into the final week, we were not supposed to be in the college football playoffs, and then we slid in because the team lost.
Yeah,
which is exactly what happened this year.
Yeah, but Ohio State was actually really good that year.
Yep.
I do not think Ohio State's really that good this year.
We lost one game.
I think Ryan Day
to a good team.
I think Ryan Day has turned Ohio State into a Big 12 team. They throw for a lot of yards. They score a lot of points. They don't play good defense. They play a good team and they lose.
We didn't play good defense for one game.
Well, Evan.
But
we've only Ohio State played a bunch of garbage teams. I mean, who knows if they're good? They play Michigan. They play trash.
We beat Notre Dame and Penn
overrated.
State. Those are
overrated.
Both are in the top 25.
Overrated.
Notre Dame is aggressively overrated. Penn State, I didn't think was very good this year either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We've only let.
In my opinion,
30 points twice.
In my opinion, Ohio State has not played a good team until Michigan, and they got rolled. So
that's
just what I'm thinking.
Could that be fuel of the fire too?
That's what I'm saying.
It should have been last year.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying.
You never know. I'm not willing to give up on them just yet. You're already out on them. I'm not ready to give up on them yet.
I'm not giving up on them.
Oh, you have given up. You have given up.
I do not.
After the Michigan game, you gave up on them completely.
Yes, you did.
Can you blame me?
Yes.
I mean, really, can you blame me?
Yes.
We're in the playoffs.
They recruit some of the best players every single recruiting wise. They're on the same level as Bama and Georgia. There is no reason that they should be losing to Michigan. No reason at all.
No, I agree, but
they did it 2 years in a row by 20 both years.
But I don't think that writes them off as a team. When they're like, "Oh, we're just this horrible team that doesn't deserve to be there." We deserve to be there.
I didn't say we didn't deserve to be there, but
I said that.
I don't think they're a good team.
I think they are a good team.
The first good team they ran in, the first good team that they ran into this year, they lost by 20. So
but let's be honest.
They haven't proven to be a good team.
The 20 points was in garbage time.
I'm just saying they have
the
not
20 points
proven
was
to be.
after Ohio State already had given up.
Well, they shouldn't have gave up. They should not. In my opinion, they have not proven themselves to be a good team this year.
I also think the reason we lost that game is because we played the run and they killed us with the pass. They didn't run the ball.
Well, last year they played the pass and they killed them with the run.
Exactly.
So,
what are we supposed to do against this team?
I know there's not. They can't beat them.
I think they could. Just imagine if both of my picks don't happen. Ohio State, Michigan, Natty. Mm-hmm. Just imagine the build-up for that.
I am honestly afraid that Ohio State would lose again.
That game holds bragging rights for the end of time.
Yes.
I just don't think Ohio State be able to do it. I know. I mean, I know. Everyone says they lost 2 times. They won't lose again. They're mad. You know, they got all the hype on their side. Yeah, that might be true, but that doesn't matter. They're
you call
football.
yourself an Ohio State fan. You should be ashamed.
I'm just saying, man. They can't beat Michigan. Michigan, for some reason, has the formula to beat them. They've done it the exact same way the past 2 years now. I don't know. I'm just saying.
If they've done it the same way the past 2 years, you can figure it out the third time. Third time's a charm.
I mean, you'd like to hope so, but I don't have faith in it. I have more faith in Ohio State beating Georgia than them beating Michigan.
Yeah.
And that is not an egregious thing for me to say. I genuinely am more confident that they can beat Georgia than they can beat Michigan.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
You guys literally just agreed with that. You were just like,
I had to contemplate
like
what
what are
you
you
just
talking
said.
about? I think they have a better shot against Georgia.
Than Michigan.
I mean, Georgia's the better team, but I'm just saying Michigan has their number. They do. That's the end of the story. That has been proven for 2 straight years now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would have more confidence in them beating Georgia.
That's a fair take.
There we go.
Fair take. I don't agree with it, but I can't argue against it.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, you can't like.
Yeah.
For you to say Michigan does not have their number is basically, in my mind,
I'm not saying they
that
don't.
means that you are just an extremely salty Ohio State fan. Because, I mean, look at the past 2 years. They beat us by 20. They have our number. I mean, you really can't argue that, you know?
I can't argue either way right now.
Yeah. I mean, I we'll see. It'll be a good game. And it would be a good story, Ohio State, Michigan in the national championship. That'd be pretty cool. I'm just saying, like, you really can't argue with the fact that they have their number.
Correct.
Not sure why. They shouldn't, but they do.
I mean, Harbaugh has just sucked against Ohio State until these last 2
I know,
years.
that's why I'm saying, like, there's no reason Ohio State should lose. They shouldn't, but they have 2 years in a row now. And that's why I'm starting to get a little tired of it and losing some faith here. Because they should not lose.
Yep.
Is Ryan Day on the hot seat?
If he loses next year.
Yes. If he loses next year, I think he might be gone.
I don't know who else they would hire.
I don't know who else they would hire too, but I mean, he can't beat the one big game they play each year. So I mean, I don't know. It was just an interesting idea, I guess.
Yeah.
I think you're just pissed off for Ryan Day.
They could have.
No, I'm really not. Like, don't you remember when they lost? Like, everybody was saying fire Ryan Day. And,
Yeah, that was just heat of the moment.
Yeah.
After
I think
thinking
that,
about
like,
that.
logically, you can't really fire Ryan Day.
I mean, I don't think they should because I don't know who else they get. But I mean, it is getting a little old losing to Michigan the last game of the season and then getting booted out of the Big Ten championship because of that. Mm-hmm. Like that, like we should just never lose that
I think they
game.
need to change how the Big Ten championship is structured. It makes no sense that
What's wrong with it?
I don't.
The East and the West.
Yeah, I think it needs to be the 2 best teams because literally an 11-1 team doesn't make it in, but an 8-5 team gets to play for a conference title. That makes no sense to me.
I like it being East and West better.
Even if we lost to Michigan,
I think
There's
it should,
too many teams for it to not be. The
I think
East
it.
and West.
I think it should be.
teams.
I think it should be restructured to where the conferences are more even because who's in the Big Ten West?
Yeah,
Like Wisconsin,
the best teams like Iowa.
Minnesota, Iowa.
yeah. I don't disagree with
Who's
that.
who's in the East?
All 3 of the best teams.
Exactly.
I
Three of the
don't-
best teams is State in West or East?
No, State's in the East.
What the heck?
Yeah, see, I don't disagree with that. Maybe just restructuring the East and the West, but I don't think they should get rid of the East and the West though.
No, like Michigan State.
Yeah, I don't think that it should just be the 2 best teams. Like I think they should keep the East and the West thing because there's too many teams for them to not do that.
Just shake it up a little.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
Because an 11-1 team losing one game and not being able to play versus an 8-5 team, like that makes no sense.
Yeah,
They just need to
just how the chips fell. I guess I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't
I don't
mind
think-
restructuring.
I don't think that they can do it geographically because if they do it geographically, then
that's what they have it now.
exactly
Yeah.
they could do it almost like kind of how the conferences for like the Pac-12 or no, not Pac-12 for ACC.
Don't they have Atlantic and Coastal?
Yeah, but that means the same exact
Yeah,
thing.
you're right.
Like exactly Atlantic and Coastal, they have 2 different conferences.
Yeah,
They're not geographically different,
yeah.
so that's
They
my
could
thing.
do it that way. Yeah, I mean, because they
Call one the Big and call one the 10 conference.
yes, because you can't have
Well, also, what are they going to do when UCLA, like USC, like all these teams come into the Big Ten? Like they're just going to go to
Is it just USC and UCLA right now?
Yeah.
I think so.
So what are they going to have? 16 teams?
So
Yeah.
they'll have to probably move them to the West, or they'll have to chase.
They'll have to do some reshuffling then, because then the East would be uneven with the West, or the West would be uneven with the East. The West would have 2 more teams in the East, because obviously you're not going to put either of those 2 teams.
They're probably just gonna move. They're probably just gonna move like Wisconsin to the east or something like that, or Iowa.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Probably
That'd be
State
interesting.
or probably
Yeah.
Wisconsin
I wouldn't
or Minnesota.
I wouldn't hate them reshuffling the East and the West, but I don't think they should get rid of the divisions though.
I think they should do it how the Pac-12 or ACC does it, where it's two conferences still, like two divisions, but it's not geographically based,
Yeah.
and they randomly assign it. You know,
That's how the NFL is.
well, no, the NFL is geographically based though.
Yeah, but not by conference. Like they don't do the East Conference and the West Conference. Like they don't do that in the NFL.
Yeah,
They just do
and AFC, NFC.
Yeah.
I like
They
that.
could do something like that.
Yeah, with the entire college football.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, they're gonna have to do something because the college football as it stands right now is not doing very well.
Yeah. I mean, I like the NFL better.
Right.
Yeah. So what's everyone's picks here for the national championship? What are we thinking?
Georgia TCU.
Georgia TCU.
Georgia TCU.
And then I have Georgia rolling TCU.
Yeah.
And then Georgia. Yeah, I had the same picks as Evan.
Yeah.
You have Georgia Michigan.
I have Georgia Michigan. Yeah.
Boring.
Boo ring.
Sorry, I think that's how it's gonna go. I don't think TCU's gonna beat Michigan.
I advised my grandpa to bet this way. He asked me, "Hey, who should I bet on for the?"
All right. What I want to see is Georgia TCU, but what I think's gonna happen is Georgia Michigan.
Yeah. Well, we'll see
That is correct.
what happens.
That's a good take.
Yes.
Actually, terrible. Egregious.
You guys hate my Ohio State takes.
Because you're on teams you like when they're like slightly underperforming. You think that it's like the end of the world, that everybody needs to be fired.
They are actually like not like I.
You did do that with the Bengals this year,
What?
beginning of the year.
At the start
No,
of
I
the
just
year,
said their offensive line's bad. I never said fire Zach Taylor and get everyone else out of there. I just said their O-line's bad.
And then their O-line led up 1 sack in last 9 weeks.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I'm just saying, like, their offensive line was bad at the beginning of the year. That's a fact. But, like, Ohio State, like, I don't think
Weaver,
I'm,
you're
like,
just
out
historically
there.
negative on teams that you like.
I really do not think my takes on Ohio State are, like, really that out there. I really don't.
You're just extremely negative on them, specifically because you like the team and they've disappointed you in the past.
I'm just saying, I really don't think I am that
You
crazy.
have Ohio State and Bengals trauma.
I do have trauma.
You have
for both of
deep-seated
those
trauma that you are taking out with these
I'm-
picks.
I'm actually getting a pretty good amount of faith in the Bengals. Like I don't trash on the Bengals anymore. Like the Bengals are in the right place. We're going to the right direction. But Ohio State, though, I really don't think my Ohio State takes are really that out there. Like I really don't.
And they're not crazy.
They're not egregious. They're
Yeah,
just little.
I mean, I really don't think they are.
All right, we need to go watch the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Oh yes, the Duke's
The Duke's
Bowl.
Mayo Bowl.
Yes.
Who's playing?
NC State and Maryland.
Oh, God bless America.
Evans.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you all for watching, and hope you enjoyed and have a good rest of your day. Peace.